it's Jacie. So I thought I would just film a video of my experience meeting Kian and Jacie. I went to the tour before the tour a few weeks ago, and I've been meaning to film a video about it, just my experience and stuff, but I've been super busy. But here I am talking about it finally. So yeah, let's get started. I would have vlogged the entire thing, but basically my phone has no storage, and so after deleting all of my pictures and all of my apps and stuff, I still didn't have a lot of storage, and I didn't want to risk using up all of it on vlog footage, and I wanted to make sure I would still have room, I guess, to put my meet and greet video and pictures and stuff just from the concert itself. So I don't have footage from before or me talking, I guess, but I do have tons of pictures and videos of the concert itself. I got there around, I want to say 4 to the venue because I went with my friend, and basically we just got to the venue and we lined up and waited and waited and waited. It was so cold, I was freezing. I was really glad I brought a jacket. My mom was like, oh, go bring a jacket, and I was like, I don't think it's gonna be that cold, and I didn't want to have to hold it during the concert, but I ended up deciding to bring one, and I was so glad that I did. After waiting for what felt like forever, we finally got let in to the venue. It was at Ace of Spades, and Ace of Spades is tiny. Normally, when I've gone to venues in San Francisco and places like that, normally there's a separate room for the meet and greet, and it's just for the meet and greet, and then you get let into where the stage is. But for this, the meet and greet was literally in the same room as the stage. So people were getting the stage ready while we were waiting for the meet and greet. Then we waited in that line inside for a little bit, and Kian and Jacie came out because we were still pretty close to the front even though we had gotten there really late. And we just waited, I guess. They came out, and everybody watched you meet them, which was kind of awkward, but it was also kind of chill because you got to see them, and people were waving to them when they were between fans, and it was really cute. And JJ was coming around, and he was oh, hey guys, to everybody, and he was having conversations with people. I got to the front, and it was my friend's turn to meet them, so I recorded her video and did that for her, since basically the guy wouldn't let you take any video. I took a video for her since she obviously wasn't gonna be able to get one. And she met them, and then it was my turn, and I gave the guy my phone, and I went up to James. He was really sweet. I hugged him, and I was like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, and he's like, yeah, you too, and he's like, oh, make sure to be really loud at the show tonight, and oh my gosh, his accent, I was just yeah, keep talking. I went to Jacie, and oh my gosh, he was so cute. He was oh, I get so nervous around pretty girls, and I was like, you did not just say that to me. I was ready to just log roll out the front door. I was like, oh, I love you. And he was oh, I love you too, and he went and he opened his arms, and he's oh, and he hugged me, and it was the cutest thing ever. And then I went to Kian, and I was like, Kian, hi, and he's hi, and I was I love you, and he's I love you too. And he held my hands, and he's oh, so are you a Kian girl or are you a Jacie girl? And I was I don't want to pick. And he's oh, well, you have to. And I was no. And I was I love you both. And he's oh, and then Jacie was oh, I want to hold your hands. And so Kian held my hands over, he gave them over to Jacie. And he was whoa, your hands are so soft. And I was I thought he was making a comment on how small they are, because I don't know if you can tell on camera. I have the tiniest hands ever. I have total baby hands. And I was yeah, they're small. And he was he looked kind of confused, and I was just okay. And so he grabbed my hand, and I was I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. I planned to do for my picture, have one of them kissing me on one cheek and one of them on the other side kissing the other cheek. So I was like, oh, will you guys kiss my cheeks for the picture? But I didn't think that they heard me since like it was really loud and a lot of people were talking and the guy taking the picture was talking and it was a mess. And so I just was like, you know what, whatever, I don't care. I'm holding hands with Jacie, Kaylin, like there's nothing to complain about there. And so I like smiled for my picture and I was like, yay, picture. And Jacie comes in and he like kisses me on the cheek and I was just like, what? Yeah, I don't think Kian heard me because Kian was like awkwardly off to the side. After that, I was like, oh, thank you guys so much, and I hugged Kian again, and I went to go hug Jacie again, but Kian like was like not letting go of me. It's getting dark, and you can like see my lights, so we're just gonna problem solved. And so basically Kian like wouldn't let go of me and he was just like, he kept like holding onto my shoulder and he's like, I love you, and I was like trying to walk away because the like next girl had started to meet them and I was like, I didn't want to like take her time, you know, because like that's rude. And he like wouldn't let go of me and I was like, bye Kian, and my friend was like, I love you, Kian, and he like got distracted and let go. A lot of meet and greets I've gone to, they're just like, I mean, I haven't gone to a lot of meet and greets, but of the ones I've been to a few where they're just like, nice to meet you, let's take a picture and go. Like, they just don't seem like they want to be there. They just seemed like really happy and they like genuinely seemed to want to be around their fans and just like meet everyone and say hello and have a conversation, and they were just really sweet. And then I remembered and I was like, oh my god, that's just the meet and greet. Like there's still another show waiting to happen. So we had to go back outside. It was now like really dark outside and it was freezing cold. VIP thankfully got let in first, so I think we only had to wait about an hour or two after we met them to go back in, just because they were finishing up the meet and greet and they had to put all of the like barricades and stuff away so that we could go to the actual stage. We finally got in and there were probably like 5 rows in front of us. It was general admission, so there was no like specific seating. They were basically just like, let's throw a couple hundred girls in a room and see how it works out, which is not the best idea. The show itself was really fun. They brought up a lot of fans on stage. They did like skits and challenges and stuff. And we tried to get Kian to sing. He was like, seriously guys, we tried. And yeah, so the concert was really fun.
36 seconds! Thank you. Without you, I couldn't have done that. Wow, I got my pinky. Thank you. Oh, that's good. Oh, okay, one of us like this. Yeah. Wait. No. Look facing that way, look. See? And put, I do nothing. Fine, go. What are you doing? It's like this. No. We're always hurting ourselves. We're always trying to be funny. We're always trying to like make jokes, laugh. A lot of mistakes happen on stage, and I don't know if you guys realize it, but I mean, that's who we are, you know. So we don't proclaim to be perfect, you know. Hey, I
am for sure not perfect. This is all I know.
Okay.
We left during the encore because we wanted to get outside to meet them after the show. Security outside the venue for after the show is usually a lot ruder than the people at the beginning of the show. I think just because it's late and they're tired and they want to go home. But like these guys were like a different story. Like they were like threatening to tase us. They were threatening to pepper spray us, call the cops on us, get us arrested. This girl was like trying to move up closer and one of the bodyguards was like, get back. And he threw a barricade at her, like the little portable ones. He picks it up and he throws it at her. Thankfully it didn't hit her, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Like I was just like totally in shock. After like 2 hours of waiting, it was like almost midnight and they finally came out. I didn't really get a chance to talk with them that time because it was just like, it wasn't like organized obviously, so they were just kind of like taking pictures with everybody. This was my picture with Jacie. This was my picture with Kian, my picture with James, and my picture with JJ. As we walked up to where they were, my phone just like died, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And so thankfully my friend was nice enough to let me use hers, so thank you so much. And then we ended up just going home because it was a weeknight. That was my experience for meeting Kian and Jacie. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!